I could spend the rest of my life acting in just two-person scenes with Jennifer Aniston and be happy.
Mark Duplass is here ahead of the season 2 premiere of The Morning Show. And we've got the stories that define the week on People in 10. I'm Andrea Belke, bringing you everything you need to know about pop culture right now. We've got 10 minutes, so let's dive right in with the first 5. Starting with Denise Richards, whose 17-year-old daughter Sami is now living with her dad, Charlie Sheen, after making claims on TikTok about an abusive household.
Sami alleged that she had been trapped in what she referred to as a hell house. She said that she was insanely depressed, that she hated herself. A source tells people that Denise set some rules, like any parent would, that Sami didn't want to follow. So she decided to go live with her dad, who has a very different set of parenting techniques and rules that he has for her, and she felt more comfortable there.
Now, Sami says she's happy and full of self-love, and her videos have since been made private.
But the source tells people that Denise is really saddened by this whole situation.
Moving on now to a big week in celeb fashion, which kicked off with one look that definitely got our attention.
Megan Fox went for sexy at the MTV Video Music Awards. She wore a sheer midi dress with only a thong underneath.
The next day, the actress made a solo appearance at the Met Gala, which returned after being canceled in 2020.
From Lil Nas X's 3 golden outfit changes to Kendall Jenner's My Fair Lady inspired look.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
The fashion embodied the event's theme of In America, a lexicon of fashion.
There were plenty of bold moments.
Lourdes Leon, Madonna's daughter, wore a 2-piece fuchsia dress that showed off her armpit hair.
And even some eye-catching PDA.
While J.Lo did walk the carpet solo, she and boyfriend Ben Affleck were seen kissing through their face masks once inside the event.
And of course, the Met Gala was the talk of Instagram this week. Shang-Chi star Simu Liu vowed no more stock photos for him after he was invited to the star-studded event. He's referring to his pre-Marvel days, when he posed for stock photos to make a little cash. He's come a long way. And Britney Spears is ready to say I do to Sam Asghari. The couple announced their engagement this week, with Sam posting this photo showing off the ring. In a since-deleted post, Britney also shared a sweet video to her account, while a source tells people she's ecstatic about the proposal. And there are wedding bells in the future for Kate Hudson too. She revealed what appeared to be an engagement ring in an Insta post featuring her and Danny Fujikawa kissing, writing simply, "Let's go." Well, the 73rd Emmy Awards are almost here. And what better way to watch television's biggest night than with the perfect cocktail? Here's a recipe you'll want to try, brought to you by Kettle One Family Made Vodka.
This one is a bright, refreshing drink, and it's the Reboot Royale because it's inspired by the Cosmopolitan cocktail.
The best part, there's only a handful of ingredients, so you can make these one at a time or in viewing party ready batches.
We've only put 3 ingredients into this cocktail. Really, really easy before we shake it up.
And if you don't have calamansi vinegar, don't worry.
You could use all lemon juice if you wanted to.
But don't skimp on the ice. Can you use any regular ice, or does it have to be the crushed kind?
You want to use larger ice for shaking, so the stuff you have in your freezer at home is absolutely perfect.
Then it's time to shake things up.
We just give it a little shake, because then we're going to add our final liquid ingredient.
Oh yeah, we can't forget the rosé champagne. And to channel the iconic Cosmo, garnish with cranberry pearls for a tart final touch.
They just kind of dance around the glass, and as you drink, they roll over your tongue, they'll pop, you'll get little bursts of cranberry. You can have a couple of these over the course of a long award show, and you're gonna make it to the tail end just fine. It's just a really festive cocktail that I hope people are gonna enjoy this season.
Cheers. Tune in for People in Entertainment Weekly's Red Carpet Live from the Emmy Awards, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Also brought to you by Kettle One Family Made Vodka. And in this week's People, we're catching up with 2 of the stars of Dear Evan Hansen, Julianne Moore and Amy Adams. In the new movie, they both play mothers, and they tell us the best advice they ever got in real life about parenting.
I have to learn to try not to fix the problem, but to be present, to be a good listener without trying to necessarily fix it for her.
The best advice I was given was by a preschool teacher. You know, she said, redirect them. Something was going on with my son in a social situation, and she said, redirect him. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, just point him in another direction.
This isn't the first time they've shared the screen.
See how I changed the subject on you? I did, yeah. You didn't know who you're fooling with.
And Amy says working with Julianne sometimes gets her in trouble.
I immediately wanted to just like Velcro myself to her. I got in trouble because I started chatting. Every time I'm with her, I think I get in trouble because I get real chatty with Julianne.
Well, I'm always chatty. That's my problem. It's like I can't stop talking. It was so fun.
It was really fun.
I love those two. Now let's move on to some screen time. I'm here now with Mark Duplass, one of the stars of the Apple TV Plus hit series The Morning Show, which returns for its second season tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow then.
Yeah, you see me tomorrow.
For these final 5 minutes of the show, I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. For question number 1, you have to give me 1 answer. For question number 2, you have to give me 2 answers, and so on. Let's get started. You play TV producer Chip Black, and I'm not gonna give too much away, but season 2 focuses a lot on identity. So what is one new thing you learned about yourself while playing Chip this season?
I could spend the rest of my life acting in just 2-person scenes with Jennifer Aniston and be happy. One of the best scene partners you could ever ask for.
Yeah, your character Chip has a long history with her character Alex, so you spent a lot of time together on set. What were some things that surprised you after working with her so closely?
She still creatively challenges herself every day to try and be a better actor.
Don't like me, you've never liked me.
That's not true.
Which part?
She improvises with me, and she's constantly trying to better herself. So I love that about her. And she makes a very mean tequila cocktail. She hosted a couple of gatherings for some of the cast and crew members, and we were able to sample some of her bartender skills.
The cast of this show is so phenomenal, so many talented people. Now there's a lot of drama, obviously, on screen.
You're a dead man, said the corpse.
But I imagine with so many funny actors, that there had to be a lot of laughs between takes. So who are the 2 co-stars that made you laugh the most while on set?
You know, this season, it's a much more nuanced season, so there aren't a lot of just deeply comedic scenes, but I would say Karen Pittman, who plays Mia, is always lighting things up.
And you didn't think we get her to sing.
And then Greta Lee, who is a new cast member, but she's just one of the funniest people that you'll ever meet.
So you were able to have some fun when you weren't filming. Obviously, as you mentioned, a lot of really heavy topics here.
Try and get ahead of this coronavirus thing.
Why is it important to you to be able to be in a show like this?
I just really appreciate that the showrunners are willing to tackle these subjects while they are happening.
There is a pattern of behavior around here that disadvantages the people of color.
It's a very courageous thing to do, and they try to examine more of the gray area.
Besides being an actor, you also have a production company with your brother, Jay, who we are loving right now on the chair.
You will apologize to everyone.
I'm gonna be here all night.
What are 3 reasons that you 2 work so well together?
Jay being the older brother, he was always good about wanting to hang out with me. I was a younger one, of course, I was obsessed with him. And so our closeness is a big part of it. I think when you're making independent films, we had no connections in this industry. Our whole theory was 2 heads are better than 1. We need each other if we're gonna have any shot of making it in this business. And then we share the exact same taste. When Jay and I are directing together, I don't have to say anything to him. I can look across the room and I can know what he's thinking.
Give me the real tea as well, because I know how working with siblings can be. So what is one thing that he does that annoys you, that you laugh about, or something you do that always annoys him?
Our joke with us is, if I was left alone, I would make 80 terrible movies and TV shows a year because I would make them too quickly. And if Jay was left alone, he would spend his entire life making the perfect movie, but he would never finish it.
You and your wife, fellow actor and director Katie Aselton, just celebrated your 15th wedding anniversary. So huge congratulations, that's a big deal. So what are 4 things that you 2 do to keep the romance alive?
Well, we have 2 kids. They're 13 and 9, our daughters. One thing we did is we made sure that every 3 months we would go away for at least 2 days, just the 2 of us. Even if we didn't want to. The 3:30 p.m. beer and games before dinner zone is critical to our relationship. The other thing, the power of the pheromone connection. I love the way Katie smells. She loves the way I smell. And I think that's important. And then the 4th thing, both of us go to therapy.
And you actually met on New Year's Eve, which I think is so fun because the first episode of season 2 of The Morning Show takes place on New Year's Eve. So how cool is that? A little bit of art imitating life.
Yeah, we met on New Year's Eve and definite flirtation happening. And I think we were sensing that there were some sharks in the water for each of us circling. So we moved in for an 11:30 p.m. preemptive New Year's kiss to lock each other down so nobody else would swoop in.
And finally, give us 5 words to describe season 2 of The Morning Show.
Subtle.
Onward and upward.
Funny.
You're funny.
Well, I better be, because you're not dating me for my looks.
Explosive.
This is a battle for the soul of the universe.
Important.
Do you feel that the important issues have been addressed?
Dangerous.
Everything changed in a minute. The whole world changed.
Mark, thank you so much for joining us. And everyone watching, be sure to tune in to The Morning Show, airing Fridays on Apple TV+. All right, time's up. See you next Thursday.